Hey guys, I'm top speed golf instructor Michael Durr, and today we're going to be talking about why some common mechanical changes are difficult, and they're difficult because you probably have good hands. Let's go ahead and get started. Now today we're going to be talking about two main mechanical changes that a lot of players need to make out there, but this can be for a whole slew of things that you're trying to work on in your swing. There's a lot of things that do this, and what I'm talking about is opening up the face. Okay, so we'll get to that here in a second. The first mechanical change that a lot of players need to work on is getting a little bit more forward shaft lean at impact. So we talk about in the system about building lag and getting into that straight line release, and in between those two places we want to have forward shaft lean at impact, and that's when the hands are a little bit ahead of the ball and we're compressing the ball, getting nice, clean, crisp shots. You know, that the change there is for guys who are coming here and flipping the club. The other change we're going to talk about is staying in our posture a little bit more. So we all know we want to stay in a good posture. We don't want to be early extending and getting up into the ball. We want to make sure that our shoulders stay nice and level, and then we stay down into our posture throughout the swing. Now, why these mechanical changes are hard? Well, first of all, we talked about you have good hands. That's why they're hard. They're hard because they open the face, and you have good hands, so you're going to end up closing the face. That's the long and short of it. Whenever we try to get a little bit more forward shaft lean, or we try to do something like stay in our posture a little bit more, these tend to open the club face. So let's talk about forward shaft lean. If I'm standing in here and I just go ahead and I lean this club forward, most of your golfers are going to open the club face right there. And this happens even more in the downswing when we're trying to get more forward shaft lean. They'll go to the top, they'll be trying to get these hands out in front, and this club face will be coming in wide open versus a little bit more closed. It'll be coming in wide open, and because you have good hands, what's going to happen is at the very last second, you're going to realize subconsciously that this face is wide open, and you're going to try to correct that very, very quickly, and that causes us to flip. That's one of the main causes of the flip, is we're coming in wide open and we try to square the club face, because if we were to have forward shaft lean with this club wide open, we'd get lots of shanks, and if we ended up hitting the ball solid, it would go pretty much dead to the right. Now, talking about staying in posture, pretty much does the exact same thing. We can think about if we're not staying in posture and we're standing up, well, the club's square here. Now, if we go ahead and correct our posture and get a little bit more side bend, we can see that this makes the shoulder come up a little bit more and pushes the hand out a little bit, which opens up yet again the club face. And again, because you have good hands, when you're coming down into your downswing and you feel like you're staying in posture, well, you know that this club face is wide open, so you're going to do something to square up the club face. So you'll come out of posture to square up the club face and get the ball to go down the middle of the fairway. And this happens even more when you're out there playing. Now, these moves are great athletic moves to kind of save your swing, but they're not going to be good for long-term consistency. So why these changes and like changes are so difficult is because we don't really understand how we want to square that club face up. We don't want to square that club face up at the last second, like we just talked about. We don't want to square that club face up by standing up. If we understand how to close the club face or square the club face in the downswing, then we can start making these mechanical changes much easier. And the move that we're going to talk about is something we also talk about in the top speed golf system in the move section, is at the top of the backswing, getting the hands to kind of bow. We were laying the club off a little bit at the top of the backswing in the transition and getting them to bow a little bit in the downswing. Now this bow, where this wrist starts to turn over in the downswing, actually you can see it right there, starts to close the club face. So if we understand that if we turn this club kind of like we're turning a doorknob, then that closes the club face, then we can understand that we can start making these mechanical changes without having to compensate with our good hands or our good sense of where the club is by standing up and out, because we'll know how to close the club face with our hands versus something else. So to kind of put this all in perspective, if I'm coming in and I'm trying to get forward shaft lean and my club's wide open, wide open, wide open, but we understand that if we get a little bit of that rotation or a little bit of flexion in that lead wrist, so this is flexion, we have extension, we get a little bit of flexion, a little bit of bow in the lead wrist. We can understand that that's going to close the club face, and that's going to allow us to come through into forward shaft lean much smoother versus coming in open and trying to save it very quickly, where you can see we end up releasing the club very, very soon. Same thing with trying to stay in posture. Let's go to the top of the, get a little bit better angle here for you guys. So we're going to go to the top of the backswing, and we're going to come down in here, and we're going to stay in posture. And you can see that I'm wide open, but if I understand that little move, and I go ahead and I bow that front wrist, we can see that squares up the club face. Now I don't have to come out of my posture to square that club up, and I can stay down in my posture into my full finish. So guys, understanding that that little move in the swing is going to square it up, is going to make a whole slew of these mechanical changes that you're trying to make much, much easier, because you know, you get in front of the camera and you look at it and you're going to get frustrated and you're not going to know why. It's because your good hands and your good athleticism is taking over, and it's not going to let you hit shot after shot to the right. Understand that, and you're going to go skyrocket with your technical changes that you make. Okay, so go ahead, get out there, close that club face down, start working on your mechanics, and go ahead and get better today. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Hi guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got an awesome bonus for you. We need that lag to create lots of club head speed and to hit the ball really far. That's going to help you to lower your handicap as quick as anything. I've got a great lag video, and one of the #1 lag mistakes that I see players make time after time. I'm going to play a preview of that video. If you want to watch that entire video, just click the link that pops up on your screen. If you're on a desktop device, a computer, home computer, if you're on a phone or a tablet, click the iCard and you'll get instant access to that video. Plus you're going to get 5 more bonus videos from our Top Speed Golf system. I'll see you guys in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.